If the U.S. would like to spread its ideal types, or what it perceives to be as an ideal type across the world, then definitely it should take into consideration global opinion, because they want to spread democracy, they want to spread laissez-faire economics, they want to spread all these ideas that they have, and they should definitely take into consideration global opinion. And I disagree with what you said about the political agenda is the same for both candidates, because their approach is different. One wants diplomatic relations and the other wants to use military and force in order to enforce his policies.
They haven't mentioned Lebanon. They've talked about Pakistan and Afghanistan, but they haven't really addressed Lebanon and Israel.
McCain said that he'd support
Okay, Obama did.
Even if different countries, we're talking about the approach, the vision.
But for the last few months, where has the campaign focused on? Economic. People are voting based on economics and nothing else. They're not voting on Iraq anymore. They're not voting on Iran.
But they should.
Naturally, if you're voting for a president of your country, your main concern is going to be domestic politics. But you cannot ignore foreign politics. Because at the end of the day, states live in an international system based on state-to-state relations.
I don't deny that. The reason why Obama surged in the polls at the beginning of the whole elections, and when they were running, when he was running to be the representative, is because he was against the war in Iraq when nobody else was. Of course, I understand that, but now U.S. politics, the U.S. view has shifted, and they're focusing more, instead of foreign policy, they're focusing on economics.
But it doesn't exclude a view of foreign policy.
But their economics is international anyways.
Just to tell you, nowhere in the world would they vote exclusively based on voting for external factors. In any country, even in Lebanon, people vote for what the representatives will bring to them on a local level, not on an international level. But the major factor is the local one, not the international one. You're talking about the crisis, and the Americans have to face a very tough crisis now. I mean, people are losing their jobs, so this is what's taking the floor in the debate. But there was a certain time where there was a focus on the international exposure of the candidates, and it was thought that this one had more exposure, this one had less, and it was aborted. But then the crisis hit early September, and they had to deal with that in a very big way, and has dominated the debate ever since. But I do believe that they are taking into consideration the international exposure, and hadn't the crisis hit at the time it did, probably the international politics of the candidates would have been a major factor also in the votings. And it did, and it is actually, I saw a report a couple of days ago about the American Jews who would vote. Some of them are pro-McCain more than Obama because they associate him with Islam, and they're afraid that he would take decisions that are anti-Israel. So international politics does matter for at least part of the population in the States.